From an undisclosed locations for reasons of security, this is the MnRTV Live Show. And tonight, we're going to be talking about conspiracy facts, fake news, and the real truth. I mean, there's so much information, disinformation about fake news, conspiracy facts, and the real truth that we are going to be trying to take a look into this, into what is real, what is not real in the Matrix. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. And it's kind of like a new type of thing when we just talk about news. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. And we're not going to be getting a guest tonight because, well, we'll be getting into it later with my partner here, the one and the only, the info madman, Mario. Welcome to the MnRTV Live Show. Are you happy? Are you excited once again to be here?
Always am excited to be here because this is the place to be. There's all things to do around the city, but this is the place to be. You don't want to be nowhere else. I enjoyed this. I really dig this stuff. I just hope Google doesn't mess around with us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, especially on Wednesday nights. I mean, every week we're getting excited when it comes to Wednesday night because we love doing the show. We're always excited. A whole day we're excited about doing the show tonight. And
all right,
it's kind of like a new format. Would you explain to our viewers here what I mean by this? But before you do, this show has been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force, intent on exposing and dismantling the New World Order.
Well, basically, we all know what happened last week. We had a guest, and this thing, Google Hangout, crashed on me not once, but twice. And the third one is a strike. But there was no strike. So that's why we're going to keep on going like this. But there won't be a strike because you know what? We're going to keep digging and going deep into what we know, no matter what. And if people out there are there to support us, thumbs up, because you're the greatest.
We're going to dig deep into the rabbit hole, go deeper than anyone has. Exactly.
All right.
You know, and so your week's been good.
Very good. I just hope people can understand us because we've been getting campaigns. I mean, champlains. I mean, complaints. There we go. I strike three. I'm out. It's like baseball. Anyhow.
Before I get to that, I'm just reading the books because people want to know what kind of book are you reading. I'm reading Access Denied by Kathy O'Brien and Mark Phillips. For Reasons of National Security, this book right here, The Document Journey from CIA Mind Control Slave to Successful U.S. Government Whistleblower. And I'm just starting to read this. I read Transformation about MK Ultra sex slaves and what the government's really been up to, and I recommend this book. I'm going to read it. The other book I've read now, I'm going to be beginning to read this book, and it's 407 pages. So that's what I've been up to, folks. For you folks that think, what does he do when he's not doing the show? This is what I do. All right, let's go.
Keep all your fingers crossed that this show gets off the ground, because that's what we want. We want it to get off the ground. We don't want it to be on the ground. But anyhow, this is me. I'm going to be doing what I normally do, which is switching on over to present to you what we normally do. That hasn't changed. I don't think we should change that.
Exactly. All right, let's begin.
The wonderful intro, which is MnR Productions Mariolaur.blogspot.ca, and if we just scroll down, I won't go into this. It's like in school, you know, you don't read instructions. I never bother reading instructions, but the only thing I got to tell you is here when you see this, if you don't see this, refresh, and that's what we're going to be showing this week's show, or last week's show on last week's thing. But if you see it and you press refresh and it's this week's show, well, hey, you're watching the latest show. That's if you watch it tomorrow. That's if you don't watch it live. Hey, Lalan, look at that. That's what's wonderful about Chitango. It's right there. You see, you can interact with us, tell us how you feel and everything. Yeah, but this format, it's not that. We're just temporarily format. We'll see how it works in the future. Hopefully Google will work with us.
Yeah, because we can't really get guests these days because of Google always timing out on us. There's a problem until they get the new version of it. We can't take the risk of getting guests and then everything messes up, and then we're gonna look like, what the hell is this? They're gonna say we're not coming on this show. It's always this being cut off.
Messed up.
It doesn't look professional.
Yeah. Messed up. All right, so now we're going to be going to the popular pictures of the week, right? These are pictures that are posted on both the Conspiracy Talk on Google Plus and on Facebook. And here we go.
Wingtip engine. And what's coming out of the wingtip engine? Isn't it chemtrails?
Chemtrails.
Exactly. Look at that chemtrails, and I think they've been. I mean, on when was there was a day that was nice, and I saw chemtrail in the sky. What happened later on in the afternoon? It started getting cloudy, and it's been raining, and it's always raining. And in Montreal, we had maybe an hour of sun just today. The rest of it's gray, and it's raining. But I hear we're going to be getting some nice weather in the next couple of days. Let's hope that these chemtrails do not come, and let's hope that these planes do not get off ground.
But they will get off ground, and you know what's getting them off the ground? It's certainly not Comtrails, because Comtrails, the four, you see there's four engines here. Comtrails would have been four lines, not just one line at the tip of each engine. And I've noticed that once I've saw a plane, this exact same thing. And I spoke to an engineer friend of mine, and he says, yeah, it's impossible that it's going to come from the tip of the wing. So what are they spraying? Are they spraying us like we're bugs, like we're mosquitoes, and they just want to spray on mosquitoes? This is like a human pesticide, no?
Yes, exact human pesticide, because what they're doing is they're not putting us anything to make us better. They want to make us sick. They want to dumb us down. They want to make us feel depressed, make us feel worthless, and it's all in the chemicals, folks, and poisonous. They put that in the food, the harvest, and it's all chemicals, and it's just something that's very, very nefarious for our health and well-being.
And I've noticed that we feel sleepy whenever they sprayed us. Like today, I wasn't feeling that sleepy, but yesterday I was feeling very sleepy, and that's probably because they
Around
sprayed
3 o'clock, we were feeling sleepy. I remember that.
And you know what? We've done a show on this, so people can go, and you folks out there, you can go and watch our previous show. All right, so we've on next.
The collapse, the F 2008. Isn't that the bubble, the house bubble collapse?
That it's going to happen again. Eventually, it's going to happen again. You see all the poor people with their houses, and they're all living on the street, and it's kind of like an Occupy.
An Occupy, yeah, exactly. And look at the White House. There's a skeleton there, a skull, actually. And the U.S. dollar's been.
I find. Yeah, go on.
No, that's it. I have no comments else on it. The picture says it all.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's bound to happen. Unfortunately, too bad. I just hope we're not going to be here, but we are going to be here. So we have to stay strong. All right, so we've on next. Flat Earth.
Flat Earth, round Earth, we still owe it. And there you have -1 who died, David Rockefeller on the right who died, but you have Evelyn the Rothschild, then you have Mario.
George Soros. It never gets old.
Right. Exactly, and then you've got the nefarious Mr. Henry Kissinger right there, who puts on a bikini at Bohemian Grove and dances and is into all kinds of perverted sexual pedo stuff. Very sick man. And of course, you got the late David Rockefeller, who died recently, and they still own it and they laugh all the time. But these men are getting old, and what do you think they're gonna end up once they die?
With the same people that have created this flat Earth, and you know where this flat Earth comes from, eh? The fallen angels from the Book of Enoch. Well, it doesn't explain that, but they came up with this theory. So this theory is not new; it's very old.
Ah, yes, the fallen angels, definitely.
All right, so we've on next. Speaking of fallen angels, they're the ones that created the big industry.
If tomorrow women woke up and decided they really like their bodies, just think how many industries will go out of business. Dr. Gail Dines. It's true, because they all want to be like models. I think this woman here, she's happy with the way she is, but because all these women, they want to get breast implants, and they want to get their face changed and their hair and who knows what else, the buttocks and whatever else. And that's an industry. But if every woman liked the way they looked, it'd be billions and billions of dollars down the tubes, right, Mario?
Definitely. And the makeup industry, which is so big. We just can open up a makeup industry, you and I, and we'd be millionaires, because women just thrive off of that. But we won't, because we're here doing the MnRTV Live Show. We won't be doing it. We won't be getting into makeup, because I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it.
All right, so we've on next.
Joe Rogan and Stanton LaVey. Luciferian is not part of the truth movement. And these guys in the truth movement, but they're Luciferians. Look at that. Look at Stanton LaVey. Isn't that Anton LaVey's son?
Most definitely is.
And
Looks like him.
And look at his statue. This is LVCIFER instead of saying Lucifer. It says it like that, you know. And these guys in the truth movement, yeah, right.
And look at Joe Rogan here, 666. You see that?
Exactly, yeah. And isn't there a tattoo right there?
No, he has his arm covered. Oh yeah, here in the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows what it says, you know? But yeah, they're in the truth movement.
And isn't this guy here, Joe Rogan, into the Hollywood and well, he's a comedian, no, and martial art person, American martial art. So Hollywood is all corrupted.
And it's Luciferianism. Yeah.
Very corrupted. Anyhow. Right, so we've on next. Let's move along because we just love these pictures. We can explain them all day long, but
in order to finalize the new NWO process, we need a third world war, exterminate global population. That's what Jeff Rothschild says right here. And then it says VP of Facebook. He's the VP of Facebook, Jeff Rothschild. And then Zuckerberg says, I mean, let's be real. Hitler had a revolutionary and awesome idea, but he was just so far ahead of his time that it didn't work out. But can you imagine if he had something like Facebook to get the ball rolling behind supporting the Third Reich? Mark Zuckerberg.
I know that there's no proof in their saying in this, like, you know, everybody wants me to back it up, but I can't back it up because this is what I found on somewhere around the net. And you know what? For people to dig in and do their research on this. All right, Suivant next. You know what? This is your favorite topic.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of deep research. MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control. MK Ultra is a sadistic CIA project that involves satanic ritual abuse. Victims are drugged, hypnotized, traumatized, given electric shock treatments, etc. to rewire their brain. These mind control zombies have been used as spies, assassins, sex slaves, and even as celebrities. Drug Project MK Ultra CIA handlers have created Manchurian candidates willing to act on command and even against their own consciousness. And this book right here that I'm reading, Access Denied for Reasons of National Security, that I said before the beginning of the show, talks about MK Ultra and what it does and what it did to Kathy O'Brien and her daughter and a global Luciferian child trafficking pedophile group. And this is exactly, they do it through MK Ultra. So this book right here says it all. So, you know, MK Ultra, this is what it's about, and we're deeply investigating MK Ultra.
I clicked off, and there you go. We're back there. All right, because I had to show your book, but it's okay. Little things like that don't bother me. Little errors like that. All right.
It's a book of 407 pages, which I'm gonna be reading starting tomorrow because I finished the other book, and you know how I am. I'm always doing deep research. Okay, next.
And hopefully we're going to get a guest that will come when everything gets fixed up and when it's not so hot outside.
Talk about MK Ultra, because one last thing I have to use is that mental hospitals, asylums, psychiatric institutions do MK Ultra. They still do it They still do it nowadays. It's not just before. They do it more than ever. So, folks, that's the thing for MK Ultra. Let's get on to the next one. Things that make you go, Operation Gotham Shield to begin in days. U.S. governments to simulate nuke blast over Manhattan. That was supposed to happen today, wasn't it? Yesterday or today? I can't remember. But a simulation. And is that why a couple of days ago there was power failures in California, New York, and I think where else? Do you remember?
We're going to get into the news. That's coming up. That I saved it for the news. So, folks, stick in there, and we're going to get to the news, and we'll get into bigger details on this. Yeah, but there were power failures, but we'll get into it later on. But this eventually is going to happen. Or if it didn't happen already, but they're not going to put it on the news. They're probably going to keep it for later on, right?
Right.
And then, and then Suivant next, we're going to have this guy going crazy and ballistic about it, over it.
Yeah, this big shill over here hosts a radio show where he rants about all manners of conspiracies. In court, he admits it's just an act. Yeah, because he wants his kid. He's going through a divorce with his wife, and he wants the kid. So now he admits that everything he does is just an act. But like, come on! I mean, he goes crazy. He rants, he raves, and I don't believe the fact that in 2000 he went into Bohemian Grove and snuck in. No, he was allowed to. They allowed it. It's just a project. It's just they allowed him to go into it because that was part of the plan. He's just a big.
And he stole this information from William Cooper. But we've spoken about this guy. We've done shows in the past, but we just rehash.
Jones, the biggest shill around, Yeah. It's just too bad because in the beginning I thought he was just genuine, but if he was genuine and he did all he did without anything, he wouldn't be around now. They would have stopped him. And he denies Pizzagate. You big fool! You sell out. You shill. Denying Pizzagate.
All right. So we've on next, Rob. It's not worth getting angry.
Oh, I'm not angry.
Because
go ahead.
Okay, because the next one, look at this. You see, this is worth getting angry also over how these sugars, how much sugar they put. Look at this.
It's a Starbucks. 62 grams of sugar in 16 ounces. 67 grams of sugar in 16 ounces. Caramel Frappuccino. 65 grams of sugar in 20-ounce bottle. If you're making a big deal about the amount of sugar in the unicorn Frappuccino, you haven't been paying attention, which is true. And look at the logo right there. It looks like Lady Gaga. Doesn't it look like the goddess? There's a goddess of light or light bearer.
Yeah, something like that. Look, you have this star, and look at the hands, and it's like a big giant mermaid. And you know what? I call this coffee Star Sucks because it is not the greatest coffee, right?
That's right.
Anyhow, so we've on next. Oh yeah, I love this one. This one I love. Look at this.
And there's the monkey, George Bush. That awkward moment, and Obama, when you realize that all presidents are different puppets who serve the same agenda.
They're all the same.
From the monkey George Bush to Obama to Donald Trump right there. And I just hope that Donald Trump is not a puppet. I just hope, but it seems to be leading that way. Time will tell, but
and more stuff to remember on our good buddy, Donald Trump, right here. Candidate Trump and President Trump.
Yeah, right there. Candidate Trump, lock her up, talking about Hillary. President Trump, she's been through enough. Candidate Trump, replace Obamacare. President Trump, Obamacare can stay. Candidate Trump, China is bad. President Trump, China is good. Candidate Trump, Assad should stay. Then he says, as a president, Assad should go. Candidate Trump, we must respect Russia. And President Trump says, Russia must respect us. Candidate Trump, NATO is obsolete. President Trump, NATO is indispensable. And last, Candidate Trump says, you still say, America first, America first. Now President Trump says, America world police. That's what he wants, a world police. Either he meant it at the beginning or he's been compromised.
Or George Soros is in control of this guy the whole time.
Well, yeah, for sure, because George Soros is an evil SOB,
Oh, time, give it time. That's what I say. And last but not least, because, I do get slack from people saying, well, you hate Trump, you hate Hillary. I don't hate nobody. I just don't like the government because they like to control me. They like to control us with this paper dollar, plastic, whatever, digits. So we've on next. Back to the sugar again.
Look at that. Carbohydrates 80, dietary fiber OG. How much? 6%. This drink equals 3 Snicker bars. I would never drink that. I could never drink that. Just like I can't eat 3 Snicker bars. I could maybe eat 1 and that's it. 3, no way. I'd be sick. So can you imagine? I mean, now they're saying, oh, Coke is no good, 7-Up's no good, all this stuff. Fine. But people are still buying it more than ever, but nobody's supposed to drink it. So what do? People that don't drink it, they put all kinds of stuff in this, and doesn't this look like a concoction of some kind of like really, really sick stuff in there? Look at
It's
it.
poison.
Yes, a poison. It's poison. And Codex Alimentrix right here. It
And you
is.
know what? Men and women, humans, were not meant to drink this. We're not meant for all this sugar, unless if we go hunting. But who's going hunting? Everybody is too busy, you know,
On their
watching
iPhone,
television.
on their iPhones and tablets and Samsung.
All right. Next but not least, all those things could be found here, like we said. And if you want to watch our last show or latest show, just come here, click on here, and it'll bring you to the blog. Now let's see what's happening on our wonderful Chatango. Let me just Okay, oh boy, yeah, lots and lots of action. I love this. Yes, yes. Yeah, it is chemicals. It's like Coke. Once I had an old 1900 penny, American penny. And you know what I did? I used Coke to clean it.
Not to clean it well, right?
Oh yeah, I removed all the copper off of it.
So imagine what it does to your stomach.
All right, shall we go to the wonderful news of the week?
Here we go again.
This is, yes.
And globalists laughably claim Russia helped Marine Le Pen in French election. There's some false news right here, folks. Exact same anti-Trump disinfo now being used against Le Pen. And
The question is, could we trust Le Pen?
Could we trust anyone?
No.
I mean, from the books I've been reading and the information, can we trust, you know? In yet another transparent attempt to take out these standing against the forces of globalism, a security firm has released a new report that claims Russian hackers targeted French presidential candidate Emmanuel Macron in a move to help National Front leader Marine Le Pen. That's right, the exact same deep state-fueled disinformation has been used to target Donald Trump in the United States is now being pushed in France as a response to the stunning fact that despite widespread negative media coverage, Le Pen has made it to the second round of the French election. Well, how many rounds is there? This sounds like it's some kind of boxing match or something.
No, I just find this all fishy, this nationalism, like with Trump and now her and Holland, apparently. Is it Holland or Netherlands? Well, it's the same thing, I think, no?
Yeah.
Holland and Netherlands, they want to have the same thing. Could it be that the Antichrist, this is all part of the Antichrist thing, where divide and conquer and then bang, because we're dividing all these nations, and then, you know what, through peace, we'll bring them all together. That's something to ride on.
And don't forget, did you hear about Bill O'Reilly? He's leaving the conservative group, the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
So is he supposed to be Canada's Donald Trump? So who knows what's going on?
Oh, you mean Kevin O'Leary?
Kevin O'Leary, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin O'Leary. He apparently, he says, because the only reason he's leaving is because he can't get votes here in Quebec, and that means a lot to the party. So that's why he's leaving it for Bernier. But you know what? Maxime Bernier, apparently, from what I was told, and this is for Paulie, Maxime Bernier, he's supposed to be a libertarian under the conservative. I don't know how that works, but his views are libertarian. So you know what? It wouldn't be so bad. I'd probably vote for him. He's from here, Quebec. He speaks good English or British, like the people say. But we can't trust nobody at the end of the day.
I hope he hasn't been compromised, because they all have to be like I told you, the information which I'm not going to put on air is, in order for them to get into power, into politics, into movies, they have to do certain things, and they just they go to places and they just go there and they're filmed, even if they're not doing anything, but if they're at a certain place. And if even if they're squeaky clean, just by being there, they tell me, yeah, come, I want you to meet me at this place. They go, come downstairs. They go downstairs and look what happens. They're filmed and everything that's going on, they're compromised. And they're using blackmail if they step out of line. That's how it works for politicians, musicians, Hollywood.
The Pope.
Eh?
The Pope.
Yeah, well, the Pope, yeah, and world leaders and yeah, and world leaders, exactly.
Anyhow, the
Okay.
next one, and by the way, all these links we're posting will be in the description once the show is done. So people, you can all go view this for yourselves because we're not going to sit here and read detail per detail. We don't want to bore you. Anyhow, the next one, Rob.
Nothing but fake news. Kremlin dismisses claims Russia-linked hackers targeted Macron campaign.
Someone
And
has to
yeah,
take the fall for it.
exactly. Moscow has dismissed allegations suggesting it is involved in cyber attacks against the campaign of French presidential candidate Emmanuel Macron. It resembles the accusations made by Washington, which to this day remains hollow, doing no honor to the people making them. Russian presidential spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, as cited by TASS, on Tuesday, the Associated Press reported the Japanese-based antivirus research group Trend Micro said that the campaigns of Macron's En Marche movement, En Masse movement, was targeted by Russia-linked hackers. The report quickly spread in the Western media with many sensationalistic headlines that stories suggesting Russia's meddling in the French presidential campaign. However, Trend Micro did not name Russia as being behind Pawn Storm, and neither linked the alleged Macron campaign attack to Moscow. So now every time there's an election, Moscow's going to be targeted. So that means if we had an election here in Canada or Quebec, Ontario or wherever, Russia's behind it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, but it really has to be that important, no?
Yeah.
And the conservatives go in. That's what it comes down to, you know? And then, of course, WikiLeaks is into it, and, you know, it never ends. All right. Let's see what's happening on Chatango. Yeah, I know his French skills aren't that good, Kevin O'Leary, but he's from Montreal. That's what I don't get. It's like, why not? The guy's from here.
He's not a French. That's why they don't want to vote for him.
So they wouldn't. Kind of like
Montreal Canadiens. They want a French coach and a French GM and French players, and if not, then they don't like, you know, they don't like that idea.
Yeah, it seems like that's how it is. But who's in back of all that, you know?
Your good buddy.
Darts our house. All right. Now we're going to be getting into what happened. You know what we were talking about with the outages.
Yesterday's blog, yeah, this happened April 22nd, the day before April 21st, which I think was last Friday. Yes, yesterday's broad power outages, likely caused by geomagnetic storm. Yesterday, a massive U.S. power grid failure was seen across the entire United States in one simultaneous fashion. San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles were the three main areas that were hit the hardest. Each of these areas experienced challenges or shutdowns in businesses' commerce. Also, basic infrastructure such as communications networks, mass transportation, and supply chains experienced challenges. To many, this seemed apocalyptic, with analysts citing possible cyber attacks amid mounting geopolitical turmoil across the globe. We're shocked that mainstream media didn't revive the failing Russian narrative for another round of fake news to confuse the masses. Personally, I don't think it was a cyber attack or the Russian war or the Russians, but more of a space weather event.
And this was posted on when is April 22nd? That was Saturday, no?
Saturday, yeah.
So this is what was posted then, and it could be like we've had something like this happen. When was it? 98?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm surprised.
Or 89. When was it? No.
89, 88 or 89. Yeah, I remember.
Well, it was the year Montreal was playing Boston for a playoff game, I believe, no?
It was also the time when it happened. That the next day, what I did is, it's the first time I ever asked a girl out to a movie. That's how I remember. I know it sounds silly, but I was 18 at the time, and when that happened, that day before that, I had asked a girl out. The day before or after, I know.
Right. Well, let's not get carried away. I know it's easy to get carried away. Anyhow, this is the places where it hit. You see that? But it's funny. How come?
Sam, a big one in San Francisco and New York as usual, and then there's Washington, Boston, Vancouver, Seattle, Los Angeles, Dallas, Minneapolis, Chicago.
But I wonder why it didn't hit Canada or Mexico.
I wonder. Very strange.
And here it's here.
It wasn't even in the news, as if they're trying to hide something. Maybe it was just a test to see if they could take out the grid.
Or to see how people would react.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The first thing people would say, oh my God, I have no power. I can't go on Facebook.
See,
then after that, once they realize that Facebook doesn't matter, they're going to start worrying about food and shelter, food and heat and water and money and everything else. And look how the U.S. grid is dependent. It's all interconnected, as we can see right here.
Could it be the sun?
Could be, possibly. But they didn't announce it everywhere, so they didn't want this news to be out. They did not want it to be out. Maybe it was something from Mother Nature.
Anyways, this site is nice. It just goes deep into the details, and this person that has written this site really knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he does. Oh, for sure.
All right, look at all that. The steel, whatever that is.
Yeah, overheating.
What do you people think this is? Oh, look right here. Speak of the devil. Look at that.
Hydro-Quebec system collapsed 1989. Exactly. It was in 89. I thought it was 88, but it was 89. That's when I was 19. And I asked the girl out. And then
Wasn't that the year the Flames won the Stanley Cup?
Yes, they won. And the Habs went into the finals with Pat Burns, and they lost. That's it. That, and I had to ask a girl out. Yeah, I remember 1989. Great year, because 1990 was even better. And believe me, if someone out there has a time machine, I would gladly go back to those times. I don't care what it would cost. I don't care. If anything, I would go back and just stay there, because now, basically, life sucks. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Come on, we're doing a beautiful show. We'd be paying millions of dollars to do this show, and back in '89. Now we're doing it, so we gotta savor the moment. All right, the next one. Look at this. We came close, Rob. We came close.
That's what I'm saying. It sucks, because bang, we could have been dead, doomed and destroyed. Dead, doomed and destroyed. Sneaky asteroid narrowly misses Earth. Comes between Earth and Moon. Discovered just hours before. More asteroids on the way. Now, is this fake news or is this real news? I come to think that this might be real news, because it wasn't all over the internet trying to scare us.
I don't know. All this fake news, real news is starting to confuse the daylights out of me, and you know.
H7 media, yeah, and fake news was started by none other than Donald Trump. And then with Pizzagate and Comet and Hillary Clinton and Podesta emails and everything else. A 7-meter-wide asteroid named 2017 HV2 narrowly missed Earth Sunday by 0.33 lunar distance, which is 1/3 of the way to the moon, or 79,000 miles away. The rogue space rock flew at a speed of 21,000 miles per hour. Wow. Think of that speed. And marks the 17th asteroid to fly between the Earth and the moon this year. The asteroid was discovered by a survey just hours before its passing.
And here it is. Could it be Planet X? No, I don't think so.
Nope, not Planet X. No.
Planet X. It's like it disappeared.
Exactly. Isn't Planet X supposed to come? And out of Planet X, the reptilians are going to come, and they're going to come and eat us.
Probably the Death Star. Gas was 60 cents a liter. Or maybe it was even less, no? 60 cents. Wasn't that like in back in 2004 or something like that?
Yeah, and how come when we had cars it was so damn expensive? Now that we have no more cars, gas goes down.
But yeah, but it's still $1, Rob. Come on, it's still $1.20.
I know, but it's expensive. Better than $1.80.
Man.
Blame it on the elite. Blame it on the Illuminati doing this.
Oh, look at what's coming up next. Anonymous CERN. Look at this. Can we
This,
get away without CERN?
no, we can't. This is the world's smartest kid in the world. And he thinks CERN destroyed our universe.
How could this be?
We are living inside a universe that's so complex that if we can grasp what's happening for a moment, we'd fall down on our knees and cry in surrender to its marvelous beauty. Science just barely starts to scratch the surface to the nature of reality. And still its discoveries are more shocking than we're able to imagine. It proves that quantum entanglement, unfilled field of consciousness, free energy, superhuman abilities, singularity, parallel universes, and alternate realities. Man, I want to go to a different reality. I'm fed up with this one. All of this is so mind-boggling that you would never think of a kid think a kid can understand. But maybe we need kids to someone who is brave enough to think about crazy ideas and theories, because most of the world we live today was built upon such. Max Login, Laughlin is not just any kid. He is probably the smartest kid in the world. When he was 13 years old, he invented a free energy device, something that could potentially power the whole world for free. He became famous across the world for his brilliant and points of views on interesting topics in the nature of the universe and alternate realities. But now he has a theory that CERN destroyed our universe and we live in another universe that was parallel and closest to it. He thinks it's the famous Mandela effect, as a result that Max explains all beauty in this video.
There.
There is the video right there.
That's it for that. Very interesting little bit.
But the thing is, if I'm in a different universe, things are still going the same way. I still work at the same place. I still have the same problems. I still have the same stuff to do. It's not like we're millionaires over here, or we're living on an island or something with beautiful women and babes. But no, instead we're doing what we're doing, and it's still going on. Or in an alternate reality where the NWO has been dismantled and destroyed once and for all. Interesting.
And maybe a little bit, yes, go on.
Maybe he's right. Who knows?
All right, the next one, again on CERN, we're going to try and get more into deeper CERN.
Colliders, containers, dark matter, the CERN atom smashers, careful cloud revolution. Yes. No downtime till 2018. CERN made headlines with the discovery by physicists in 2012 of the Higgs boson, paving the way for the breakthrough of our understanding of how fundamental particles interact. Central to this was the Large Hadron Collider, a 26-kilometer ring of interconnected magnets, chilled to minus 271.3 Celsius, straddling the Franco-Swiss border. The LHC is the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator. But 2012 was notable for another reason: an overhaul of the IT infrastructure that CERN's army of physicists using LHC and 4 other accelerators depend on to run their experiments and crunch their data. It came open stacked, and 2 years later, replacing a stack of in-house Perl scripts. Also, new in CentOS, Senf, Hankook, Kinpanka, Jenkins, and Puppet. OpenStack introduced elastic compute to CERN, a software-defined infrastructure giving scientists the resources they want in the time it takes to get a cup of coffee, rather than raise a Hepple-deck ticket, then wait for the Linux service to be reconfigured. CERN is not defined by Higgs or its physicists, are totally probing areas including dark energy and dark matter. Sometimes that also evolves into the brand new IT infrastructure in its containers. One thing we've seen a lot of during its containers is technologies. Tim Bell, CERN's head of computing, told The Red during an interview, yes, containers have been taken on across the entire industry, but have found particular utility among the atom smashers of CERN. Folks. Containers have been a way for scientists to run legacy code and from old experiments with newer work. The CERN laboratory is 63 plus years, and the LHC was fired up in 2008. Applications are written mostly in using C++ with some Fortran and Python. Despite this, there's a range of code that needs updating. Bell told us the ability to encapsulate the whole container for software and the operating system is very interesting. When we are running legacy code from the previous experiments, they need to be nicely isolated from where we have applications broken down into microservices that have different operating system requirements. We can meet that with a whole set of containers. Very
CERN.
CERN are definitely up to stuff that most people wouldn't even think of. But I'm not going to read it because it gets very technical here, and we have no time to get into really getting into technical.
No, we're just going down and seeing if there's anything good. And if you people see anything, pause and keep reading it. But, you know, CERN is CERN. Could it be they're going to open up a porthole that will let the deceiver in?
It's already happened in 1947. Actually, 1918 when Crowley did it, and then 1948 it was done also. No, 1947, sorry, it was done. And then what happened? Roswell. It seemed after that a whole bunch of UFOs appeared. After Crowley's students reopened the porthole but never closed it. So something's been open, but maybe they're trying to, they're probably trying to control this portal. They want more information.
Or just controlling the portal is big enough for them because it gives them power. And with power comes
corruption.
You know, they like that kind of stuff. Oh man. The next one. Oh, it's aliens. You know what that means.
Yes, I do.
Our show is coming closer and closer to the end. All right, so here she is.
UFO encounters have tripled since 2001, and no one knows why. Right there.
You see? Right there. That's what you were saying before about CERN. You see? They're keeping on going more and more. Right?
Look at that. Exactly. Right there. There's a UFO. Events on Earth have been pretty surreal in recent years. And what with Brexit, President Trump, and Metallica performing with Lady Gaga. Yeah, I've seen it. She was pretty good with Metallica. So, is this why extraterrestrials seem to be dropping in to visit more than ever before? People seem to be spotting UFOs far, far more than they were even a decade ago, according to two UFO researchers. A new book, UFO Sighting Desks Reference, looks at the statistics behind UFO encounters and analysts of 121,036 eyewitness accounts in America suggest the encounters are increasing in numbers. Authors Sherry Costa, Linda Miller Costa analyzed sightings reported to UFOs groups such as MUFON and New Fork. I never heard of New Fork. There's something new. And contrary to popular myth, UFO sightings are not dying off. In fact, the opposite is true, at least in North America, where sightings rose to 11,868 nationwide in 2015 from 3,479 in 2001. Speaking of the San Diego Tribune, the couple says that many of the sightings have perfectly normal earthly explanations, but some defy explanation, and that is definitely true. They do defy it. I do agree with you.
Now look at this. Where sightings rose to 11,000 nationwide in 2015. You know what this means? We're rounding up to the end of the world. Well, to the end of the world. I'll take that back. It's not coming roundly up to the end of the world, but you know what? The prophecies of the Bible. That's what I'm rather meant, because there is never going to be the end of the world. It's just the prophecies that are going to happen. Biblical prophecies. All right, and that's almost like, you know.
That's it. That's the show for tonight, because we, like we said, the servers are not working well. What's this over here? Okay, there you are. I thought you had gotten off, like last week happened 3 times. I'm glad it didn't happen tonight. But
no, that's my camera focusing, you know, and once it focuses, that it's seeming to do that problem. I don't know. Maybe it's a new Google. I don't know what it is, but there's always problems with this Google. I don't know if it's them censoring, because there's a lot of censorship, you know, and are we being targeted?
We likely are being targeted ever since we did a couple of whistleblowing shows and we had whistleblowing guests, you know, and of course in the future we will get more whistleblowing guests, you know, but getting back to the whole scam of things, yeah, it seems like we also have problems every once in a while, but hopefully after tonight's show, there is no problem. So hopefully next week we'll be coming on with another show, and that's it. So share the video, folks, the show that we did tonight, because there's a lot of information here about what is fake news, what is conspiracy fact, and what is the truth. It's a real mess. It's a real mess between all three of them.
Yes, so share, like this video, comment, give us positive feedback, hopefully not negative, or be polite about it. You know, don't go too crazy on us, because this thing is giving us some stress sometimes, right? That's what they want.
Exactly. Yeah, and we can't get any guests if this happens all the time. It happened last week 2-3 times. 2 weeks ago, when we had the honeybee on, what happens? The modem, it just stops working, which it never does, you know, because we probably had a high profile show, you know, whistleblowing show. But we'll see what happens. So any final words?
No, that's it. Thank you for watching. You people are the greatest. Don't you ever forget that. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Bye.
And we're back this week. Thank you.